Man, I swear, this film just dominated my childhood, and watching it a couple of weeks back, it's aged in such a good way. But I feel like, in some ways, it's a lot darker than I remember.
Up the airy mountain, down the rushing glen, we dare not go a-hunting, for fear of little men.
What I loved about this film, and I think you'll agree with me on it, the awesome ways that the golden ticket, affects just ordinary people.
Oh, man.
I'm still having these dreams, Doctor, and I still can't stop myself from believing them.
I've told you, Mr. Hofstadter, to believe in one's dreams is a manifestation of insanity, and the sooner you accept this, the sooner you'll get well.
But I dreamed the Archangel appeared and whispered into my ear and told me where to find a golden Wonka ticket.
And what exactly did he say?
Well, what difference does that make? This was a dream, a fantasy. I mean, you said just now...
Shut up, Hofstadter, and tell me where the ticket is.
It really, shows how stupid and greedy people can get over such a simple thing. And that's why I like it. It's just... That was absent in the remake, and it really didn't benefit from leaving that kind of stuff out.
Not only does it show how greedy people are, though, it shows what a big deal Willy Wonka's factory reopening is to everyone.
It's like an international event. We get snippets of something sinister, I think.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. As the chocolate bars are collected and the golden tickets are found, we start seeing a strange man looming in the background of every ticket winner. And we start to wonder, who is this guy, this strange guy that seems to have such sinister intentions, looks like he's on some kind of register and has to notify people when he's in a new neighbourhood kind of guy.
He is the Phantom of the Chocolate Factory.
But of course, everyone knows Charlie wins eventually because he's piss poor and he takes his stupid, selfish uncle that spends all their money on tobacco.
I swear it's his grandfather, isn't it? Yeah. Can I just say something about Grandpa fucking Joe? So we're supposed to believe that he's been bedbound for 20 years, yeah?
Yes.
20 years, he hasn't moved from that bed. Charlie comes home one day and he's like, oh, look what I got for you. I got you a Willy Wonka bar.
Grandpa, that money was for tobacco.
And I'm assuming, now correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob, but back then, they didn't have Uber Eats.
They did not.
How has he managed to go out and buy a Wonka bar if he's been bedbound for 20 years? Huh?
Because, the answer is he hasn't. He's a selfish, awful charlatan that would rather throw his family under the bus for tobacco than get another chocolate bar. But because he sees a chance of Charlie winning the golden ticket, he's made an exception, got out of bed and bought it for him. Selfish prick.
Just so Charlie can take him to the chocolate factory, because as we see, when Charlie says,
"It says I can take somebody with me. I wish you could go."
I mean, it takes him a few minutes to get out of bed, and then he starts fucking dancing. And I'm sorry, right? You wouldn't be able to dance about like that. But he's there fucking just dancing about, singing a song, whilst everyone else in the bed's just kind of staring at him like, you motherfucker, Joe.
So Charlie literally roots for a gutter to try and get the money to go to the to get another chocky bar, and of course he gets it. And what happens? The most realistic thing: he gets mobbed by a bunch of adults. Right? he manages to run home, and that's when he comes across creepy pedo Slugworth that has an ominous message for him.
Mr. Wonka is at this moment working on a fantastic invention. The everlasting gobstopper. If he succeeds, he'll ruin me. So all I want you to do is to get hold of just one everlasting gobstopper and bring it to me so that I can find the secret formula.
They go to the grand opening, and that's when we start to get a bit of a sinister look at what Willy Wonka thinks is a good old time, a good old chuckle. So our first impressions of Willy Wonka are him pretending to be a cripple by hobbling on his walking stick to the crowd and then doing a front flip, like a front roll kind of thing. And it's like, you never really know how to take him. that's why Gene Wilder purposely wanted this scene in the movie, because you were always questioning Willy Wonka's intentions afterwards. And after that, we get into a nice child-friendly scene of him making them sign a legal waiver.
Yep. You know, just good old family fun, you know, with like tiny fine print that you can't read. Grandpa Joe's like, go on, Charlie, sign it, we've got nothing to lose. So, alright, fucking hell, Joe.
Clever.
What about me, Grandpa?
Sign away, Charlie. We got nothing to lose.
Now, I will admit, right, Gene Wilder's version of Willy Wonka is far less noncy than Johnny Depp's, right? But he is a lot more skitsy, I'd say. I mean, like, we get into the chocolate room, right? You know, that amazing chocolate room, which, okay, kind of looks shit by today's standards.
It just looks like brown water, really.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, okay. It was a lot more magical when I was a kid, I'll give you that one. You know, he's kind of like, you know, doing his little song and dance, and then just, like, plucks the hair out of Mike TV's head. What I love is, when Augustus, later in the scene, ends up going into, like, the chocolate river, he is more concerned about the safety of the chocolate than he is about that kid.
My chocolate! My beautiful chocolate!
Johnny Depp actually says it's kind of dangerous, please get away from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give you that Johnny Depp is a little more creepy, but
he's more caring.
He still cares about the kids.
Yeah. You'll see it's kind of like a theme throughout whenever the kids are in, like, you know, danger. Gene Wilder just kind of goes, no, stop, come back, don't do it.
Don't just stand there, do something! Help. Police. Murder.
And then it gets into this scene, you know, once Augustus is gone and he's been made into fudge or whatever, that people have pondered over for years. Which scene am I talking about? I'm talking about the scene on the boat where Willy Wonka goes absolutely batshit, and there's scenes of, like, awful shit, like bugs crawling over people's faces.
Oh, this is a children's movie, man. I was just watching this. I'm kind of like, this is disturbing as fuck, and he's just going on. He's on some weird rant about.
Yeah, he is.
I can't remember what it is, but it's some sinister shit.
Not a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing. Are the fires of hell a-glowing? Is the grisly reaper mowing? Yes! The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing!
Looks like something out of, like, a bad acid trip, like the visuals in this. It's really weird, and I'm surprised it got approved for the time. But I think there's even a point in those clips that flash up while he's going through the tunnel on the boat, where a chicken gets its head cut off.
Just fun for the whole family, man. Just family fun.
Of course, you know, it goes on to, like, the inventing room and stuff like that.
Time is a precious thing, never wasted.
He's absolutely bonkers.
What's that for? Gives it a little kick.
What's the matter? Too hot, Mr. Wonka?
Too cold. Far too cold.
So funny. So funny. It reminds me of Airplane. And Airplane's one of my favourite comedies, and it just that just dumb humour is right up my alley, and I loved it.
The stewardess said both pilots.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
I gotta say, like, even though the Willy Wonka of 2005 has got the better special effects, this whole film is more charming in pretty much every way. You know, you got, like, the fucking awful industrial dystopian like looking factory of the 2005 movie, but in this one it's just a nice wholesome factory containing some kind of sinister, kind of wrong.
Yeah. Right, don't forget, he all gives them one of the everlasting gobstoppers, and you know,
does.
yeah, he's like, don't give these to anyone. Keep this as your little secret, all right? Or else I'll fucking kill you. He doesn't say that, but you know, he probably would.
You see it in his
all
eyes.
I'm saying.
And I loved how, you know, the Violet scene turned out in this one. It was a lot less sort of like horrific, her turning into a blueberry. Like,
yeah.
What's it taste like? Madness. It's tomato soup. It's hot and creamy. I can actually feel it running down my throat.
Stop. Don't.
Why doesn't she listen to Mr. Wonka?
Because, Charlie, she's a nitwit.
you know, it still managed to be funny, even though it's like, yeah, this girl's like inflating and shit to the size of a balloon. And do you know what I admire about this film?
Go on.
Real midgets for the Oompa Loompas. That's dedication right there.
Oh yeah.
You go out of your way to find that many midgets.
Inclusive as well. It's got diversity in there. You know, it's got German people. It's got midgets. It's got snobby British people. It's got all walks of life. All right.
This is what this film is about. It's about giving you layers. You know, layers of character, layers of story. You
like
know?
an onion. Yes.
It's like a complex moving onion. Okay. They wheel away or roll away stupid Violet, and they carry on, and it goes into like the let's just go fizzy lifting drink room. It's magical until it isn't. Okay, you know. Charlie and Grandpa Joe, I keep trying to call him Uncle for some reason. They take some of this fizzy lifting drink that makes them fly and shit, which isn't in the 2005 film again.
It actually looked kind of good as well.
Yeah, they're floating up to the ceiling, they're having a great time, a whole barrel of laughs, and then they realise, oh wait, that ceiling fan's going to kill us in a couple of seconds. So you just get this tense couple of minutes where they're drifting slowly towards a ceiling fan that's going to like cut them into pieces, like bisect them. And of course, you know, they play it off for laughs because they end up burping and then going back to the ground. But it's just another thing that's kind of... You are reminding me that even in this reality where there's Oompa Loompas and magic chocolate, that people can still be killed by ceiling fans. Thanks. It goes into like Veruca, like her scene of being like fucked off the entire movie, and I think it's better than the 2005 one, just because of the musical element to it.
Pink macaroons and a million balloons and performing baboons and give it to me now.
Like, she's singing while throwing a tantrum in this goose room because she wants a golden egg, right? And, you know, she's causing shit, she's agitating the little Oompa Loompas, kicking the little midget asses and stuff like that. Being just a downright bitch, okay? And what happens? It culminates in her just falling down like an egg chute thing into like an incinerator.
She was a bad egg.
Where's she gone?
Where all the other bad eggs go. Down the garbage chute.
Oh, the garbage chute. Where does it lead to?
To the furnace.
I'll get into it more at the end of when we get closer to the end of the film. But unlike the 2005 movie, which I've watched again for this kind of discussion review thing, none of the evil kids walk out of the factory like they do in the 2005. Now, I'm not saying that they're all dead.
We're just
saying. But they never walk
yeah,
out.
They never return.
I'll just leave you with that thought, okay, guys?
But also, they signed the contract, so, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of their own fault.
Clever, legally binding contract that renounces all responsibility for damage on the property. I think it's more like he's leaving the decision to them, and it's like...
Or so we think, Jacob.
Maybe.
Or so we
maybe.
think.
Maybe there is no decision. Veruca is gone, and it's just Mike TV and Charlie. And Mike TV's scene in this is kind of great because it plays on how much he likes TV. I love it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like he wants to be in TV, he wants to be in like channels, so he gets broken down into little bits, and much to like Willy Wonka saying, Oh no, please don't. It's not a good idea.
Look at me, I'm gonna be the first person in the world to be sent by television.
Hey, get away from that thing!
Stop, don't, come back.
And he actually, in this scene, when Mike says, can you teleport a person? Can you break them down into little pieces? He doesn't try and dissuade him. He actually looks excited by the idea.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you know what? Like, we probably could, yeah.
Like,
Mr. Wonka, can you send other things? Not just chocolate, I mean.
Anything you like.
What about people?
People? I don't really know. Suppose I could? Yes, I'm sure I could. I'm pretty sure I could.
Yeah, we could. We probably could, I guess. I guess we've never tried it. We felt like there was someone that wanted to, huh?
Yeah.
So he gets, like, whisked away, because he's like a little tiny person now. The film just kind of ends all of a sudden, like, Charlie is, like, thanked for coming, and Willy Wonka goes back to his office. Even though Charlie should be the winner.
Yeah.
And you're left wondering, like, well, what's going on? Is that it? Is that the ending to the film? So they go and see him. They go and see Willy Wonka in his room. They say, well, Charlie's the only guy left. And Willy Wonka's patience fails him.
When does he get it?
He doesn't.
Why not?
Because he broke the rules.
What rules? We didn't see any rules, did we, Charlie?
Wrong, sir. Wrong. Under Section 37B of the contract signed by him, it states quite clearly that all offers shall become null and void if, and you can read it for yourself in this photostatic copy, I, the undersigned, shall forfeit all rights, privileges, and licenses herein and herein contained, etc., etc., fax mentis incendium gloria culpum, etc., etc., memo bis punitor delicatum. It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
You're a crook.
Can I just say, right, Gene Wilder in this scene, I was like taken back. I was like, whoa. Yeah. He did, like, this is awesome. Like, the acting.
He is going off. He is just railing into Charlie because of the fizzy lifting drink thing, which he was never supposed to drink. He's making a perfectly reasonable argument that the entire room has to be washed and sterilized. It is a brilliant scene, and Charlie is just left like, right, well, you're a prick, so have your gobstopper back, I'm leaving. And that is the only thing that he was waiting for. He was waiting to see that even if he went off on him, Charlie would do a good deed in the end. That's what the entire plot is revealed. Slugworth doesn't exist. The guy that has been stalking all the kids and bribing them to try and get the everlasting gobstopper doesn't exist. All of it is a fallacy, and it's all been made up by Willy Wonka to test the morality of these kids. In a way, that is really creepy, because it proves that he's kind of a sociopath, because he's been following these kids, these children, and, like, engineering this whole scheme to test the morality and to try and build a successor. And there's something kind of weird about that. But, yeah, in the end, they go into the glass elevator, and there is no backstory of Willy Wonka having daddy issues in this. And Charlie ends up getting everything he ever wanted. Brilliant movie. Gosh darn epic, even. You know, it's probably... The effects have aged a bit, for sure.
You forgot about... Yeah, but you forgot about one iconic scene.
Okay.
The Bukkake car scene. I'm sorry, but oh my god, it's like a car powered on Willy Wonka's cum, and it's just squirting. Yeah. It's just squirting everywhere. It's like a big Bukkake party. It's beautiful.
Pretty
it's fantastic.
And I think that is a perfect moment to end on. Thanks for coming, guys. Eat your chocky. Maybe you'll find your own golden ticket. Who knows?
Cool.
See you next time.
See you later, boys. Goodbye.